Zach with Web3 Reviews. Thank you for being with us. Today, it is Wednesday, March 12th. We're going to be talking about XRP in the crypto market. Remember that none of this is financial advice. Just like that, the downtrend was over. It was scary, wasn't it? What was it, 5 days of downtrend? No, it was 6 weeks. It was rough, okay? We had a little back test. And if you can't handle a little back test, you're going to have to look yourself in the mirror and say, man, tighten up. Take a lap. Man, do some push-ups every time you check the price. Don't be that guy who's paper handing, buying and selling and buying. You don't need to be that guy. Just buy and hold and forget. Go watch some YouTube videos. Go play some video games. Go do some shit in real life. How about Patrick Bet David letting the world know that the XRP army is for real. You may not like it, but the XRP army doesn't care. 75,000 people signed John Deaton's document to join the lawsuit versus Ripple versus the SEC, saying that when they bought XRP, they did not buy it from Ripple. There's no investment contract from Ripple. You bought a third-party cryptocurrency from an exchange like Coinbase, like Uphold. You didn't buy anything from Ripple, and there was no expected work done from Brad Garlinghouse & Co. that was going to pump your XRP bags. It was actually implied that those guys didn't care at all about the price. Patrick Bet David letting people know that this is for real.
Something very strange happened with a post that the president made about cryptocurrency. That's like, if this happens, what else are you going to say? This could be exponentially explosive. Dude, if all of these guys are now looking at this, maybe I ought to consider a little bit of my portfolio being tied to cryptocurrency. And then the president puts this on Truth Social. You ready? President Trump on Sunday announces that he wants to establish a crypto strategic reserve for the US government, kind of like Fort Knox with gold. We're talking crypto. That will include things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Ripple, Solana, and Cardano. Whoa. The government wants to have a strategic reserve of cryptocurrency. 2 weeks ago, on February 16th, I ran a poll, and a poll says, which crypto has the best long-term technology? I didn't know what it was going to come up. I'm not a crypto guy. My audience is not a crypto community. It's very neutral. I put Ripple, Bitcoin, Ethereum, other, explain why. At the lowest was Ethereum, 9%. Other was 12%. Bitcoin, whom I thought was going to be 70%, was 35%. And Ripple came up at 44%. This is 179,000 people voting. So it's not 200 or 800 or 10,000. It's nearly 200,000 people voting. Then Gary Cardone retweets it and says, when people run a poll like this and they don't know what they're talking about, this is why people get confused. No problem. Then I challenge him. Why don't you run the same exact poll I run and let's see what it does on your audience. I don't know. I'm not a Ripple guy. I'm not a Bitcoin guy. I'm not an Ethereum guy. I'm a business guy. He runs it. The results when he runs it is the following. He said, you are 50 years old, worth $10 million, and going into suspended hibernation for 8 years, escaping complete world chaos. You are required to make 100% investment in one of the following and have 1 hour to make a decision. XRP, Solana, US dollar, Bitcoin. XRP 67%. Bitcoin 30%, 23,000 people voted. I think this was taken down afterwards. Why? Now, for actual usage of the technology, when you pull it up and you compare the two against each other, here's what you'd come up. When it comes down to transaction speed, you notice Bitcoin 10 minutes, XRP 3 to 5 seconds. Transaction cost, high during congestion, XRP very low. Decentralization, we talked about that. Use case, store value, person to person, XRP cross-border systems, supply 21 million, XRP 100 billion, energy uses high, XRP low, adoption broad mainstream, XRP niche institutional. So if you look at this, of course, like, well, then XRP is better. That's what I'm going to be doing. You pull up another chart. This other chart talks about transactions per second. The average block time, Bitcoin, 10 minutes, Litecoin, 2.5 minutes, Ethereum, 15 seconds, Ethereum 2.0, 12 seconds, Ripple, 3 to 5 seconds, Solana, 0.4 seconds. And you can go down and look at all these other guys. So the argument that's being made about what this one, what about that one, what about this one, then you look at numbers of the price of Bitcoin versus price of Ripple. When you look at the price of Bitcoin, of where it is today and where Ripple is at, this is what you'll notice. Today, Ripple is give or take $244. Bitcoin today, give or take $86,000, okay? If you go back 4 years ago, Ripple's high was $1.65. Bitcoin 4 years ago was $64,000. If you go to 2017 to 2018, Ripple high was $384. Bitcoin was $17,800. To let's just say $86,000 to $100,000, it's 6x, let's say 5x, while Ripple has actually gone down. Now, Of course, there's a pending lawsuit. Is that going to get cleared? Security, is it a security? Is it not? President Trump, he's mentioned an XRP. And what's kind of weird in his whole Truth Social post, what's the first cryptocurrency he puts in there? It's not Bitcoin. It's not Ethereum. It's not Cardano. The first one he puts in there is XRP Ripple. Why? You saw the CEO of Ripple, Brad, coming out there kind of talking, and people are saying, hey, we ought to look at this. What if the case gets dropped? What if that doesn't happen? Gary Gensler's no longer there. Gary Gensler was not a big fan of Ripple. There's all these videos that we've seen behind closed doors on what's going on. What does that really mean? When you look at Ripple in the first place, technology company founded in 2012, focused on revolutionizing global payments through blockchain-based solutions. It develops financial infrastructure that enables fast, low-cost, and efficient cross-border transactions. The owner is SPI Holdings and Andreessen Horowitz, well-known company. We know Andreessen Horowitz. They own a lot of different things. Remember earlier I told you all these big financial institutions have invested into Bitcoin. We talked about Morgan Stanley, all these other guys. When it comes down to Ripple, do you know 300 financial institutions already use Ripple Net as of 2024? One of them being Bank of America. Bank of America uses them. American Express uses the technology that Ripple Net has. So it's not like others aren't starting to gradually behind closed doors say, maybe we need this technology, because when it comes down to CBDC, Ripple partners with government to build blockchain infrastructure for CBDC. Everybody's trying to find out, hey man, we got to build something here. Whose technology do we use? The government decides to team up with Ripple. Ripple's 2024 partnership with central banks and its stablecoin launch signal this direction. So they're already making that progress. What is the next big event that happens? Is the settlement, is the issues they're having with SEC. If those things get dropped and it's done, you may see a big growth and a spike with Ripple. Let's just say XRP decides to, all of a sudden, they replace SWIFT. Let's say that happens. If XRP replaces SWIFT and FedNow, you know what happens? Let me give you some numbers here. XRP's ledger processes transactions in 3 to 5 seconds at nearly no cost, making it significantly faster and cheaper than SWIFT. So SWIFT processes $5 trillion daily, or 1.25 quadrillion annually. If you didn't know what that was, quadrillion annually, SWIFT. If XRP captures 5 to 10% of volume, let's just say 10% of volume, $125 trillion annually. The demand for XRP, by the way, could be any of these other technologies we're talking about. Analysts estimate that a $10 trillion market cap could push XRP's price to $100 per token, with full replacement potentially driving it up to $1,000.
Every single time somebody runs a poll on Twitter, XRP wins the poll. It reminds me of Berserk. XRP Army is similar to the Band of the Hawk. We got Guts out here. We got Griffith. We got Casca. Come on. And Brad G might be Griffith. We don't know. I hope he doesn't sacrifice us all to become a gosh darn demon, That's what happens in Berserk. Griffith sacrifices his whole gang to become a demon. But Guts and Casca survive this ceremony where all of the friends get eaten. So they get marked with the curse mark and they get hunted by demons for the rest of their days. They can never have a sleeping moment again. It's one of the best shows of all time. Okay? It's absolutely one of the best shows of all time. I highly recommend you watching it if you haven't seen it. But anyways, I got this buddy, this coworker. He lives about 6 weeks to 6 months in the past. I'm not sure he ever goes on Twitter or the internet. So it's rare that he even sees what's going on in the crypto market. I've been working with this guy for 5 years. We've done different jobs together. He's my friend. It's cool you get to work with your friends. He's always telling me what he's up to, and I'm like, yeah, I guess I'll do that, yeah. So I've done 2 different jobs with this guy over the last 5 years. We work together now. Me and this guy delivered beer when we were in college. It was a good college job. After college, he helped me get into construction management. Good friend to have. And I helped him get into crypto. I talked his ear off about it while we were delivering beer. I was full of hopium, and I shared that hopium. So like I said, you shouldn't tell your friends and coworkers, yeah, do as I say, not as I do. That's what I'm here to tell you, because I'm breaking all these rules, all right? I'm somebody who breaks my own rules constantly. But I'm not breaking the one about not buying meme coins that are named after food or pop culture references or, ass token, whatever it may be. I'm not doing all that, all right? That's not for me. I'm into buying cryptos that are for real, that are gonna be here for the next 5 to 10 years. I've been in XRP for 7 years. My first buys were the Falling Sword from the 2018 bull run. That was my first buys into XRP. And I rode it all the way down to 17 cents in the summer of 2019. The summer of pain, I call it. My buddy who's 6 weeks to 6 months in the past, he tells me today that he's worried that we're gonna keep going down. And that's how I know that we're done. The bottom's in, because this guy heard about it. He heard about it through the grapevine. And this is generally how it goes. Like, this guy will hear about things way late. Good guy. Anyways, I had that to say. So Patrick Bet-David put us on the main stage. Grant Cardone took the poll down. He wants to control the polls. I don't know what that makes him, but it doesn't make him very cool in my book. And Patrick Bet-David, they said he came up off of a pyramid scheme. I can't really speak on it because I don't know too much about it. Did he? Did he come off the pyramid scheme? I remember in high school, I had a bunch of friends who were doing Verve, the water company. And then I one time had an old man try and get me on. He tried to get us to read a book and it all sounded great. I thought he was talking real business, but he ended up talking multi-level marketing. Multiple times they dressed it up real nice and tried to talk to me about multi-level marketing. Crypto isn't that. But if you look closely at some of these meme coin projects, some of these Solana, Bark-backed, KOL-backed projects, it's kind of an echo chamber. How many accounts do you think these guys have? And how many accounts do you need reposting stuff where you make it seem like it's real? People think the XRP army is bots. It's not. You had 75,000 real people sign a document saying that they did not buy XRP from Ripple. It was not an investment contract from Ripple. John Deaton represented us, and they should have continued counting the votes in terms of him versus Elizabeth Warren. I think they called that early. Talking about things that should be on the blockchain, put voting on the blockchain. Let's get it done in the same day. We have a lot that needs to happen, and I'm glad that Elon is out there doing this type of stuff. I can't believe people are really out here starting fires with Teslas. They're lighting Teslas on fire. It's absurd, really. I would rather people destroy things like Whistling Diesel than the way they're destroying Teslas. Whistling Diesel's out here having a great time. He is doing reviews on the cars. That's what you need to do. How could you be hating on Elon? He's out here cutting government waste. But to not make this a political show, I hope that everything goes on the blockchain. I hope that all real world assets end up on Algorand and other cryptos. You know, it's not going to be a one-shoe-fits-all. I hope that XRP gets a part of Swift's yearly transactions. Patrick Bet-David said once we get a percentage of Swift, XRP is going to be worth $1,000 easy. And we've heard David Schwartz talk about that through the years, saying that when XRP does its job with a real use case, it can't be a low-value token. It just doesn't make sense. It won't work as a low-value token. Let's say a bank right now, they want to move $10,000 and they want to use XRP. Right now, they need about 4,000 tokens, 4,200 tokens. If XRP was $10,000, they would only need one XRP. Now, do I think XRP is going to be worth $10,000? Yeah, one day I think it is. Now, I'm not going to hold my whole bag for that day. You don't need to. How greedy do you need to be where you're like, I need 100,000 tokens, so when it hits $1,000, I'll have $1 billion, or whatever the math is, okay? I'll remind you, and I'll tell you if you're new. I was a dishwasher who hit a times 80 in crypto on Gala Games. That's what brought me here, and that's why you're listening to me, okay? Because it gave me relevancy, and I studied this shit for 7 years. I had a buddy who was playing shit on the wall. He was invested in a good 50 to 200 cryptocurrencies, and he told me I needed to get on, and he sent me a list of all of them. And I swear I looked through every cryptocurrency that was on Binance back in 2017. And I came away with the impression that most of them were dog shit. You looked at their websites, you looked at their light papers. It was a light white paper and you weren't impressed, okay? There was only one XRP. And there were some other tokens too, which stood out to me. But there was only one XRP. And right now, I'm into the few tokens that are in a similar boat as XRP. If you're within a branch of XRP, I consider you to be something worthwhile. Algorand, it's a real world asset token. Voy Network, it's a branch of Algorand, which is backed by Michael Arrington. Michael Arrington was famously an investor in Ripple and XRP. So that to me is a branch right there. Flare Networks. Flare Networks got a grant from Ripple to build a DeFi protocol, which would allow for any token that's not a smart contract enabled token, think Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin, XRP, to then use smart contract capabilities like staking on the Flare Networks. They got a grant from Ripple to build that. And through Flare Networks, I learned about Gala Games, which is a decentralized platform for gaming as well as entertainment, like music and film. So it's just an entertainment platform with NFTs and rewards based on if you own those NFTs as they get used, or if it's a film or music as it gets streamed or watched. It's cool. I like stuff like that. There's so many different places in crypto. It's crazy. There's a lot of niches. But some of the best advice I ever got was to ride the biggest wave. And you look at how much money Swift is moving. I remember seeing a video that said every time you snap your fingers as fast as you can, 24 hours a day, $5 million is moved around the globe. Every time you snap your fingers. It's like that guy who claps his hands, the fastest hand clapper. Let's watch this guy.
Hello, I'm Kent French, but you can call me Toast. Okay, here we go. That's warm up. Now we're gonna go for, feeling pretty good. I think we'll go for 14 claps per second. 14 claps per second.
This guy's a savage. I'd rather take advice from this guy than Grant Cardone. What does Grant Cardone know about crypto? He took the poll down, okay? That's what I got for you today. Don't listen to the FUD. Keep going strong. If you're in crypto, you're here to win. You're not here for a times 10. I've been in XRP since it went down to 17 cents. You think I'm pulling out right now for a times 10, a times 15?
No way. No way. What is this garbage?
I know what XRP is gonna do. And am I gonna sell it all ever? No, this is something, you never sell all. That's something I can tell you. Never sell all, because you'll just kick yourself. Hold some. I don't care if it's 100, 200, 500 tokens, whatever you can afford to hold, have some for that long haul. because there is a day when the use case will be met by some of these tokens and they will be exponentially higher price-wise than they are today. And you don't want to be the grown man that weeps. Dan Pena is going to be talking about you. He said grown men will weep. We already have the Bitcoin maxi tiers. We're going to see more of that as we see Bitcoin go down. Bitcoin's not going to stay at this price forever. Somebody said it. The last time Bitcoin was 80K, XRP was 50 cents. Now Bitcoin's 80K and XRP is $2. There was a flip that happened. Money's going to rotate into the alts as the people in Bitcoin realize the money left on the table isn't in Bitcoin. You're going to want to be in a play that has more to give. Zach with Web3 Reviews. Thank you for being with us. Until next time.